Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with my co-host, business partner, and pretty good at telling dad jokes, James Mason.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Todd, I am doing well. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Today is National Hippo Day, National Hippopotamus Day. So I have a joke for you. What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo?
I don't know what.
One's a little lighter.
That was good. Oh God, that was good.
Have you ever seen like Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson or Will Ferrell, where they're telling dad jokes back and forth, and they have to tell them, and you can't laugh. And if you laugh, the other guy gets a point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been out.
All right. So the big news probably is hello, SPY. Guess we were in a 2-day bear market and we're right back at it.
Yeah, the world was ending and now we're gonna live in harmony, apparently.
Holy cow. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's I think one of the things that we're struggling with is that we always talk about volatility in the marketplace and how volatility is good for us, but this is not volatility. This is whipsawing, and it's hard to get a read whether we're trending bullish or we're trending bearish. And that's the challenge right now, is that it's hard to make a decision in your trades. Yesterday I traded 3 tickers, but I literally was scalping them for 10, 15, 20 cent wins. And I mean, it took me all day to get a few $100 profit, but it's like I was afraid to be in a long position or be in a short position because the volatility or the whipsawing of the market was horrible.
Well, yeah, so yesterday I made a TTBB alert on the SPY, and it was just so flat that I was watching it and I was like, nah, I'm canceling this one because this could be a trap. It was a bullish trade, and I was just like, I don't know about this. But talking about whipsawing, I mean, looking at the 1-day chart right here, like Jesus, like this is what makes it hard to trade,
Absolutely.
especially swing trading. So we can see that rejection right here. I mean, strong push down, but then today's gap up, and this right here is the stuff that kills premiums, and that's really what I hate about trading options. Like the only thing I hate about trading options is when these things happen right here, and it just kills your premiums. Now, one of the main reasons why it's pushing up today is because the whole Russian de-escalation of some troops, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I thought for sure Russia was going to invade Ukraine. Strategically, it makes sense, but if the Russians want to punk out and not have a war, by all means, let's take the easy way out and not do it.
I don't think it's off the table yet. I think that you and I talked privately, I think, about this. I don't think we were talking about a StockCast. I think with the Olympics going on, and the Olympics have been used as a political pawn for stuff in the past, I don't think there's going to be a war initiated during the Olympics.
Yeah.
Once the Olympics are over, I think things are going to change. But in the meantime, he's still moving troops and lining them up on the borders. He's still talking to Germany. He's talking to France. President Biden even had conversations with both Ukraine and Russia this past weekend. But there's nothing been resolved. But there's a lot of talking going on. But all the meanwhile, Putin's still moving troops and moving equipment. So, and they're openly saying that, hey, we're prepared in case.
Yeah, and this is where it's going to get so hard for people who are extremely bullish. So, I mean, we see the first leg down right here. It bounces, which that's to be expected. It usually always does this, and it comes up here. Usually gets rejected either off of that non-EMA or that middle Bollinger Band line, and we can see that's exactly what it did right here. It got rejected and it started pulling back down. Well, then today's little silly bounce going back up. If everybody starts going bullish, and if Russia would fully de-escalate, yeah, the market will go up some, but it's not going to just like gap up and hit all-time highs. Not from a gap up, but what will happen here is we won't really get too much of a bullish reaction in the market, in my opinion, if they would fully de-escalate and back down from a potential conflict here. But the thing is, if everybody started feeling at ease that Russia wasn't going to do this and started going long, man, I know just from dealing with different macro events before that the moment I started feeling at ease and started trading in that direction, surprise, surprise, like over a weekend or some period of time to where you could not get out of your option contracts, that's when they release the worst news possible for you, and the market would just like gap tremendously against your trade. So while if President Putin of Russia basically said, yeah, we're not going to do this, I don't think the market would go crazy and have a rally based off of just that news. But I do think that if they invade, that the market takes a beating, like hardcore beating, just gets trashed. So I just see so much more downside to the market than upside based off of the Russian news in general. And that's what's going to make it so hard for people who are trying to buy the dip right here, because while you want to buy the dip and go long, if they do that rug pull on all of us in the middle of the night when there's nothing we can do about it, man, you just get screwed. And that's the big dilemma right here. That's why we keep talking about the whole Russia and SPY thing, pretty much in every StockCast for like the last 3 weeks. So,
well, and I think I think what's really important to highlight here is that the only reason we're talking about Russia in relationship to SPY is that we can't ignore the macro events that have an impact on our market. And right now, it is the Russian-Ukraine conflict.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a quick look at some of the comments, some of the tickers. So Luke has one talking about Goodyear. Man, what is Goodyear's ticker symbol? Let's see. Like crypto. Oh, GT. Okay. All right. So Goodyear, I've obviously charted this out before. I've traded this, but it's been a long time ago. It's not really one that I like to trade a lot because I don't feel like it really moves too good. All right. So good Lord. Jesus Christ.
It's a pretty red candle.
Okay. Luke, to answer your question, is Goodyear going to bounce back?
Maybe.
The tires might be made of rubber, but I don't think the company is, and definitely not this red candle right here. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a long while. Like, this is so freaking bearish.
There had to be a news catalyst that caused that. Luke, do you know what's going on there? I mean, I'm not familiar with what's going on.
Man. Yeah, I just don't see, like, it's not going to bounce back anytime soon. I mean, unless if something radical happened again with Goodyear. I pray that you're holding shares in this, because if you're holding options, this is a premium killer. And it's just one of those things, honestly, that is just out of your control. I hate that. All right, let me see if Luke responded. All right. So, yeah, Goodyear, it's going to be a while, in my opinion. I mean, that's just so bearish. I mean, if we look at it, that one candle literally almost engulfs all this. So, huge red flag. All right. So, let's see what else we got.
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick search in the news, and it looks like Goodyear gave themselves poor guidance expectations, and then quite the impact on the stock price. Good morning, people. Good morning. Good Alana. Every 3 years.
KAVL.
Yeah, that's been a $2 stock that we've talked about.
Yeah, we must have been a while since we talked about this one. I think I probably mentioned, just from looking at this chart, I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember exactly when we spoke about this one, but I probably said like to break above 240 or something like that with the target of 435. But that is a nice push up. Actually, you know what? This setup right here kind of reminds me of PROG. Let's go take a look at that. Yeah. So looking back here for ticker PROG, just remember this pattern right here when it started to make that strong push up, and it was already hot over the RSI, and it just kept pushing up. It does kind of look like the beginning of that same pattern almost. Now, I'm not saying it's going to do, the same thing, but you never know. There's obviously a lot of bullish momentum right here. And with this happening, I'm sure people are trying to short it, and that's why it just keeps gapping, which could set up for an interesting play. I don't have my other stuff up, data up for short interest, so I can't see what the short interest is, but we are coming up on this range right here to fill this gap. And man, we're right there, about ready to break that threshold to start filling it. So this one will definitely be a very interesting play. And we might get a squeeze out of this thing, because I know the Bears are going to come in and try to short this down. And just this setup right here, that momentum is so strong to the bullish side, they might get squeezed out for real.
Do you think the Bears? So, do you think the Bears are multi-day shorting this or multi-week shorting this? I think most of the people who are shorting this are shorting it intraday. They're not holding overnight.
I think the majority are just intraday shorting this, but I do think that there are quite a lot of people, especially in these like penny stocks, who are swinging them short, which is dangerous, extremely dangerous. When you have these lower outstanding share structure stocks, penny stocks especially, and people are trying to short that, it doesn't take much of a catalyst to make that thing just go soaring. And if you're swinging something like this short, man, you could wake up the next morning an entirely different person. You will not be the same person that you once was financially.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the volume for, man, it's traded a lot of volume the last couple of days. Well, I had 2 days ago, it traded 131 million. Man, and now it's back down to normal volume.
Let's see, I'm running through the comments really quickly.
All right, John Davidson asked about HPK, High Peak Energy. Now, John, what's your question regarding it? Because today it's traded 4 shares. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 shares.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure about this one. I mean, just looking on the chart, at this point, I just wait for that break above all-time highs to see what it done. But I mean, for it to be moving up like this and there not be any interest in it with the low volume, man, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I don't know if it'd be worth even trading.
I'd be looking to see if there's any insider buying going on, because I mean, yesterday it traded 51,000 shares. Day before that, 94,000. Day before that, 131. Day before that, 88, 25, 33. I mean, we could get.
I mean, yeah, like even looking at this daily chart, like even looking at these high volume candle sticks right here. I mean, hell, the highest volume one I see is just shy under 800,000 shares.
Let me look.
Like what I would. Okay, so here's just looking at this. Okay, so extremely low volume, especially for this bullish push up like this. I'm surprised it has this low volume. Which, in my opinion, what makes this one kind of dangerous right now is if we look back here at this volume candlestick, the one that had the most volume of all time for it, 2,000 shares shy of 800,000. They bought it literally at the bottom, and they probably rode this thing up. You know, some people taking profits, you know, whatever. But I would kind of be worried about, as it got to these all-time highs right here, all the people who accumulated shares down here, when they're going to start to dump. And with this thing having such low volume, once they start to dump this thing, it's going to print a massive daily candle. That's what I would be concerned about. So that's just what I quickly see for ticker HPK.
Yeah, they're an oil company, oil and natural gas. They pay a small dividend too. So I think this is it looks like maybe, I'm just doing this as like a 30-second research. looks like they have some operations in place, but if they're waiting to drill something and discover something big, and maybe they get a push up. But what's their outstanding shares?
Let's see. Elon had a question. Not Elon. I'm sorry. My daughter's name is Elon. Alana had a question. When are the Olympics done? You know what? I don't know. I didn't even know they were going on until a couple weeks ago, which they might have just started that. I don't know. Nobody watches the Olympics.
February 20th. February 20th. So about another week or so.
Let's see.
So again, another sexy day of great insight and ideas because we have so much to work with. Thank you, stock market.
Man, it's so dry. I mean, it just.
Man, good thing we had a good dad joke to kick off this morning to make the show lively.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. Okay, let's see what time we got. 9:21.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, let's do one more BLPH. This is for Rod. So this is actually one I like to trade. It's been a while since I traded it, but all right. Let's see. All right, just so hold on. Okay. All right. Just obviously I've tried this out before, but with its current setup, I mean, I think we actually might have talked about this one a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, because I probably said that break above 325, and then here we are. It got rejected off it. So still, that break above 325, that's that breakout point. As you can see, how it responds around 325, the breakdown, and then it got rejected right there. So we'll see what it does coming back up. So 325, the break above it, and that first target range. Well, actually, to be fair, the first target range would be about 550, and then overall for this first zone up to 695. That's just what I see for it.
All right, we're under 7 minutes to the start of the market.
All right. Actually, let me hit this one for Tony real quick. Let's see. All right. Can I explain what might happen with ATXI? All right. Hold on. All right, Tony, just for a quick technical analysis. At the moment, it looks like it's setting up support here. We can see where it came down to this 59-cent range, bounces, it's coming back down here, it's holding support. So this thing potentially could bounce off this 59-cent range, and really its first target price that I can see is right around 104 on the top side of it, unless they throw out a catalyst here and it getting rejected off the bottom side of this 86 EMA. So maybe we do get a bounce right here and it pushes up to 104. That would also fill this gap right here. And then it might pull back, or it might go above it just slightly and then pull back or whatever. But it does kind of look like we are around the range of this thing wanting to reverse and make a little bullish push up. So I'm not sure if you're in this, Tony, or not, but I do like this setup for a bullish swing bounce in ticker ATXI.
Yeah, and they're halted right now or suspended for trading because the FDA is having a meeting on them to regarding their drug called tramadol. So, and obviously, they get a positive letter or information, you know where it's going, and if they get a negative letter, it's doing the opposite.
Yeah. All right. So that is all I have today, Todd. Do you have anything else?
No. I was gonna share a science dad joke this morning, but they're all argon.
All right, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Remember, trade safe, trade smart. We're trading in a weird market right now. So
No doubt.
Obviously, this is not financial advice, but it might be best to kind of step away from trying to swing trade options. It just takes one macro event to make them worthless. So keep that in mind. And again, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch y'all in the next one.